What is the definition of success? So what are you striving to achieve and why? Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded. Too often, a supplier is seen as an outsider. Do you know? I've got words in my head where people are saying, yeah, you screw them down to the ground and you actually get as much as you can possibly get out of them and you can do this. And the reality is a supplier is a member of your team. It's part of your team. People get confused. Just because they're not paid employees doesn't mean that they're not part of your team. You know, I know that more than ever because I don't employ anybody, but I've got a wide team. They happen to be associates, they happen to be suppliers, as well as clients. But the customer-supplier relationship, there has to be something in it for both. If you're screwing down that supplier, and this is what happens in many, or used to do certainly, by supermarkets, big companies, screwing suppliers down to the ground because actually that supplier was so reliant on that business. It's not sustainable, and that business will not survive. Something has to give. A supplier-customer relationship is a two-way thing, a little bit like when you're actually recruiting for somebody. It's a two-way thing. There has to be something in it for both of them. The other thing that again makes me laugh is, and quite often you'll hear this. So if you've been treated by somebody not so great, oh well, that was our supplier's fault. You'll hear it on the news. That was such and such a supplier, or there's been an explosion in the Gulf. Oh, that was a supplier of our equipment, which just makes me want to fucking piss myself, because who on earth selected the supplier? Okay, and if they didn't want to trust the supplier, why not do it yourself then, right? Why not do it? You've either not got the skill set, or actually you are reliant on a supplier to provide the product that you're offering. The supplier is part of your team. You are in total control as to who you use. Do not blame anything on the supplier. It's that word blame again, isn't it? Just a sack of shit. Very similar to how you actually manage individuals. You know, if that supplier is important to you, then you have to nurture the relationship. So, okay, you might not sit down with them once a week like you might sit down with team members, but if it's a very important supplier, you've got to make sure you sit down with them to nurture that relationship. You might meet them once a quarter. It might be once every 6 months. It might be once every 12 months. But you know what? And when you do it, you talk about performance, and you've each got the opportunity to talk around actually how the arrangement's working, and if you're not happy about something, there's your opportunity. If you are happy about something, there's your opportunity. And then the other thing that I think is really, really important, suppliers will be a huge part of as to whether you succeed in business. And if you have a really, really important supplier, and you have a desire to grow your business, then why don't you tell your supplier about your plans? Because if your supplier if they understand where you're going, right, one, it just might be exciting for them because they think these people are going places. We want to be a part of this. And then secondly, guess what? They'll have a network. They'll have a network of people that just might be able to help. Do you know the other good thing as well, I would say, is do your best to actually have a laugh with them as well. You know, I mean, like, if you're going to do it once every year, go down and see him, right? There's nothing better than going down to see people, even if you've travelled for a couple of hours, because it shows that you're committed. It shows you can be arsed, especially in these current times where actually travelling places is actually, it feels like it's sort of maybe a thing of the past, but it's not. You know, it will show commitment, right? And go out and have a meal with them and get pissed or do whatever it is you want to do with them. Because there's no better way, unless you become an absolute psychopath after a couple of beers, how to get to know somebody, how to build a relationship, yeah, certainly it's been a really good way for me. Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded.
That was awesome. That was really, really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, mate.
I really like those answers to be good there.
It's going to be massive for us. Really, really big for us.
Do you know suppliers, they can help you cash flow wise? You know, if you get to really know, sometimes they can support you and help each other. And that transparency, it's an amazing thing. If a supplier knows that you've got a desire to actually double the size of your business in the next 12 months, you know, naturally they're going, okay, that means double the orders. They might just become that even more zoned in. So you know, it's it'll be massively appropriate for you and your journey. What is the definition of success? So what are you striving to achieve and why? Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded.